Hello there, welcome to the Hang Clean Intermediate class. This is the second one after the Hang Clean Beginner class, where we are in our lunge position, from lunge dipping into the rack. We'll be using two weights today, a light-sized kettlebell, this is 10 kilos, and then a medium-sized dumbbell, this is 17.5 pounds. These classes do not come with music, so be sure that you have your own tunes. Turn the volume way up, and let's get started with 3 breaths together. On your inhale, arms reach overhead, and exhale, hands come through heart center. Your next full inhale gets deeper, and your exhale is out the mouth. One more full inhale, ground down, and full exhale. Side bend. Inhale, reach arms up overhead, and then tip over towards the right side, feeling a stretch in the left half of your body. From the crown of your head to your heel, each exhale, you deepen the stretch, leaning over towards the right, keeping your shoulders facing forward, resisting, twisting, and turning. On your exhale, do the other side. Stretch on the right half of the body. Each exhale gets deeper. Ragdoll. Fold forward, bend the knees a lot, shake your head, shake your arms, and let your lower back relax. Maybe you sway side to side, whatever you need to do here, but your knees are generously bent and your belly is relaxed. Cat-cow. On your inhale, come halfway up, place your hands on your thighs. Exhale, round the spine and push all the air out. Inhale, lift the chest and tailbone rises. Do this 4 times on your own, moving with your own breath, flaring the rib cage for each inhale, and compressing the belly tight for each exhale. Downward dog. Fold forward, hands on the mat, step feet back, tailbone to the sky. Pedal it out. Rock your hips, let your shoulders sway, bend one knee, bend the other. This is your first down dog. Try to focus on pressing through the heel of your hand rather than the fingertips. Think about moving your chest closer to your thighs to open the back of the legs, the calves, and your chest. Now bend both knees a lot, and then straighten. Do this 2 more times, keeping your chest close to your thighs. Micro push-up. Inhale to a plank position and modify with your knees down. Your hips are in line with your shoulders and your knees, and then bend the elbows pointing back towards the rib cage. Do 10 teeny tiny little push-ups, 1 inch up and 1 inch down. After your 10, baby cobra. Belly down, hands by the ribs. Inhale, head and chest up, and exhale, lower. Do 10. You're moving with your own breath. Each inhale, your belly pulls in tight and you press down with the tops of your feet. Try to use less and less of your hands while your eyes look down about 3 inches in front of you so the back of your neck is long and neutral. Child's pose. Press back into a child's pose with your knees wide, your big toes touching, and sink your hips on your heels. Rock your hips side to side, open up the chest, and relax your belly. Child's pose is here for you at any point in the class. You can take it as a recovery whenever you need it. Vinyasa. We'll do 3 of them. Press back to a downward facing dog and start here. On your inhale, come forward, do a high plank. Modify with knees down to the ground. Low push-up, up dog or baby cobra. Exhale, back to down dog. 2 more. Inhale to a plank position of your choice. Exhale to a low push-up. Inhale to a back bend of your choice. and exhale to a downward facing dog. Last time, inhale to a plank, exhale low plank, inhale back bend, and exhale down dog. Knee to nose. Inhale your right leg to the sky. Stack open the hips, roll out your ankle and wiggle your toes. Press equally from both hands and keep the shoulders squared off to the mat. On your next exhale, draw your knee in between your hands, keeping your knee off the floor. Inhale, toes to the sky, and exhale, knee between the hands. Do this 10 times on your own. We're activating the core and warming up shoulder mobility. Each time you draw your knee in between your hands, your knee is as high and close to your nose as you can. So it's an active contraction of the lowest portion of your core. After your 10, switch sides. Left leg rises, stack open the hips, roll out the ankle and wiggle the toes. When you're ready, exhale, knee to nose, and inhale, toes to the sky. You'll do 10 on your own. You're transitioning from a plank position to a down dog position for your shoulders and your upper body. Each down dog, your goal is to get your chest closer to your right thigh. Each time you draw the knee forward in between the hands, your shoulders come forward over your palms. Do one vinyasa on your own to stretch open and counter, and then walk your feet towards your hands. Reverse lunge. Roll your spine up one vertebrae at a time, head comes up last. Reverse lunge is a big part of today's class. Step your right leg back. Toes curl under, you're on the balls of your feet, and hold. Bending both knees equally, you want to make sure that your pelvis is tilted forward so the lower spine is long and your core is contracted. Step back and step forward on your own 10 times. Remembering that you want to tilt the pelvis, scooping the lowest portion of your abs. So below the belly button, your abs contract. You want to resist the banana back where you're arching. Instead, lengthen the lower spine and contract the core. Your inner thighs activate to keep you balanced while you're transitioning between the step. After your 10, you'll switch legs. Again, find your long lower back by tilting the pelvis forward, activating a tight belly. Be very conscious of the lower pelvic area throughout the entire reverse lunge. This will be a repeated theme throughout the class. After your 10 on the left side, we'll switch back to the right leg. Find your reverse lunge and hold here. Now this is small pulses, 1 inch up and 1 inch down, trying to find your lowest point. Your pelvis is scooped, your lower spine is long, and your belly is tight. Switch sides. 10 pulses here on the left, setting your hips and pulse. After your 10, go back on your right side. Now we're going to transition between right and left. You can do a quick step to transition, but your goal is a hop to switch. Scoop the belly. Find your tilted pelvis, tilting forward each time. Nice job. Row. Shake your legs out. Grab your kettlebell. Bring the bell to the middle of the mat. The row is in preparation for a suitcase deadlift. The suitcase deadlift will be you standing on one side with your feet hip distance apart, not wider than hip distance, narrow hip distance. And the bell is going to be in one hand. So as you hinge for your suitcase deadlift, we want to keep shoulders and hips square, but the weight's going to try to tip you to one side and you have to resist. You want to stay level and balanced. So engage your lat to plug your shoulder in your back. The row is going to activate and wake up your lat. Find a kettlebell stance. Grab the bell with the left hand. Draw the bell to your hip bone 10 times. You're pressing down firmly with your right forearm against your right thigh. Your hips are back, your belly is tight, your chest is lifted, you're squeezing the space between the shoulder blades, drawing kettlebell to hip bone. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. 10 reps on the right arm. Left forearm presses on the left thigh. On your next one, hold it at the top for 3, 2, and 1. Bell down. Step both feet over to the right side of the bell for suitcase deadlift. Your feet are hip distance apart. You hinge at the hips and tap the handlebar with your fingertips. Do this 3 or 4 times on your own. This is the extent of your hinge. You're not going to go any lower than this. From the side, you can see that my hips go back and my knees pretty much stay over my ankles. I'm hinging forward, the chest comes forward, my hips go back, and I have a straight spine. Belly active the whole time. Just tap the handlebar, and then we'll get going with some weight. Let's set it up. You're on the right side. Hinge, pick up the bell with your left hand. Press hard through your right foot and activate your left lat. 10 reps, hinging at the hips, bowing, and the bell hovers off the floor. You have a flat back and a braced core the entire time you bow. Your hips go back, your knees stay over the ankles, your chest comes forward, and you're pressing harder on the right leg. We switch sides. 10 reps on the right hand. Step to the left side of the bell, hinge, pick up the bell, and deadlift. 10 of them. After your 10, the bell goes forward off the front end of the mat. Come down to a kneeling position, get some water, and let's set up for plank drag. Grab your dumbbell and move it to the right side of the mat. Find a modified plank position. Your knees down, hands under the chest, and hips come forward. Your lower spine is long as your belly is tight. Same pelvic tilt as your reverse lunge. From this position, straighten right knee and straighten left knee. Alternate, straighten each leg in turn. Can you simultaneously switch, tapping the knee on the floor gently? Building up to a full plank position. Holding the plank, lift both knees and lower both knees. Do this 8 times. Lower your knees, belly comes all the way down. Reach your hands back towards your toes. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Exhale, lift your thighs. And hold. Back strengthening, countering the core work. Eyes look down, back of the neck is long, and release. Shake your hips out side to side, releasing any tension in the lower back. When you're ready, press back to a child's pose. Feel your lower back stretch and release. We'll do this sequence again. Here, modified plank position. Drag the bell to the left with your left hand and drag it to the right with your right hand. Left hand to left side, right hand to right side. Your hands stay under your chest. You're just dragging the bell across and under. Your hips stay low, your belly is active, lower spine long, knees down for this first modified variation. Lower all the way down, Reach your hands back by your toes. Inhale, head and chest lift. Exhale, legs lift. Your legs are straight, it's your thighs that come off the ground. Your belly is tight to protect your lower spine. Release and shake your hips out. Press back to a child's pose when you're ready. We'll go through the next step in our progression. On your inhale, come forward to a modified plank. You can stay in your modified plank or you can go into a full push-up position. Toes curl under and knees lift. Drag the bell across the chest. 10 reps. Right hand to right side, left hand to left side. Keep your hips low. Resist the temptation to stick booty in the sky. Your lower spine is long and your belly is active. After your 10, lower your chest all the way down. Interlace all 10 fingers behind your back. Inhale, head and chest lift. Pinkies rise to the sky. Exhale, legs lift. Little sips of air and hold. Belly is tight. And when you're ready, release and shake your hips out side to side. On an exhale, press back to child's pose. On your inhale, come on up, move your dumbbell out of the way, and get some water. Hang clean. Come up to a standing position and grab your dumbbell. The dumbbell will be in your left hand. A hang clean is from just a hanging, straight, dead position. From here, we find our suitcase deadlift, and as we stand up, we rack the bell. Here it is from the side. It's a dead hang at the hinge, then stand up and rack it. Do this 10 times. The power and force of you standing up, pressing your hips forward after the hinge, is the building momentum that helps lift the weight into the rack position. Your lat is engaged, plugging your shoulder in your back the entire time. Switch sides. Do 10 with the right hand. As you bow, belly is tight, booty goes back. As you stand up, squeeze the quads and the glutes. Bell goes into rack. Just like suitcase deadlift, your lat is engaged. Nice job. Move the bell forward, and this time we'll use a kettlebell. The bell will be in your left hand. Hinge and catch in your opposite hand, bottom of the bell to the sky. As you bow, the bell lowers. As you stand, the bell lifts. Do this 10 times. Keep most of the weight of the bell in your left hand. As you come to your standing position, the bottom of the bell will rise and you stabilize it with your right hand. Both hands will be on the bell, making contact, making sure it stays balanced. Switch sides. 10 on the right hand. All the same rules apply. Hinging with a flat back, engaging your lat so that you stay level to the floor. Belly is braced. All the power comes from your hips. Your free hand catches the bell, keeping it balanced at the top so it doesn't fall and teeter-totter. Around the world. Building instability on your inner thighs and your pelvic girdle is an important element. So let's focus on this with our around the world. Your legs are zipped together. Your glutes are active. Your belly is active. Inner thighs active and squeezing tight. We're passing the bell behind us and in front of us in one direction. Grab the bell, bring it to the middle of the mat. Use your left hand to pick it up and step your feet together. Belly is locked in, inner thighs locked in, and the bell circles around you to the left. From the side, you can see that I'm in a straight and active position. The bell is going to want to counter move me, and I have to resist. Do 10. You'll feel momentum build as you increase in speed. Keep your feet, ankles, legs pressing together. Switch directions. Circles to the right. 10 of them. Here it is from the side. Glutes active, core active, inner thighs and ankles actively pushing in against each other. After your 10, you're done. Reverse lunge, hang clean. From here, you'll find your reverse lunge. Your pelvis is tilted, your belly is tight. You'll step forward into the rack position and step back. Stepping forward and stepping back. Our first set will be with dumbbell, and then our second set will be with the kettlebell. Grab your dumbbell in your right hand. Step your right leg back and find your reverse lunge. Scoop the belly and set up your pelvic tilt. Step forward into rack. Release the bell to your side. Step back. Bend both knees. Step forward into rack. Release the bell to your side. Step back. Bend both knees and step forward to rack. Do this 10 times. You can simultaneously lower the bell and step back, or you can take those two movements one at a time. There's a small dip before you step forward. The small dip is important. That builds a little bit of momentum, helping you to push off your back leg, drive down with your front heel, activating the front quad and glute to get you to stand. Switch sides. 10 on the other side. You're coming from a dead hang, you step back, find your reverse lunge with your pelvic tilt, small dip, step forward and rack. Repeat 10 times. Nice job. Let's do our second set with the kettlebell. Modification, use your dumbbell again. Bring the bell to the middle of the mat. Grab the bell with your right hand. Dead hang beside you, step the right leg back. Bend both knees, find your pelvic tilt, dip, and catch in the opposite hand. Dead hang, step back, find your pelvic tilt, dip, step forward and catch in the opposite hand. You're doing 10 on this side. Your feet are on railroad tracks. Separating your feet hip distance apart gives you more stability. If your feet are too narrow in one line, as if you're on a tightrope walk, it'll be very unstable during your step forward and step back. Nice job. Switch sides. Left hand on bell, left leg steps back, pelvis is tilted, everything is braced, bend both knees, dip to step forward and catch in the free hand. 10 on this side. Remember, you want most of the kettlebell's weight in your left hand. So bottom of the bell points up to the sky. Your free hand stabilizes it at the top so it doesn't wobble side to side. Feet are hip distance apart during the reverse lunge and while standing forward. Last one. And done. Nice job. Move the kettlebell off the front end of the mat. Get some water if you need it. Take a seat. We'll find windshield wipe knees. This cool down is very short. I recommend the hang clean stretch class that is specific to counter and stretch out after the hang clean motions. Reverse tabletop. Knees come to center, fingertips point forward towards the toes. Exhale, lift the hips and hold. Countering the shoulder rotation, opening up the hip flexors, just breathe here. Pigeon. Lower your hips. Extend your right leg back behind you. Left leg is forward, shin parallel to the front of the mat. Forearms can rest down to the floor and feel a big stretch in the back of the left glute. Breathe here. Twist. Take a seat on your left sit bone. Bring your right leg forward. Right foot crosses over the thigh. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to twist. Sit bones are level. Each inhale you get taller, and each exhale you look further back. When you're ready, pigeon on the right side. Your right leg is forward, shin parallel to the front of the mat. Left leg extends straight behind you, and find your forearms. The stretch now targets the back of the right glute. When you're ready, sit over onto the right sit bone and swing your left leg around. Left foot steps outside the thigh, sit bones are level, twist. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to turn. Inhale, get tall, and exhale, look further back. On your next breath, you release and just take a seat. The next class I recommend is the Hang Clean Stretch class or the Hang Clean Advanced class to further your progression. Thanks for joining. Like and subscribe.